On this Christmas throwback episode of the Back and Forth, me and Chanel give you our take on a situation where an ex-husband takes his children and his girlfriend's children away on a Christmas trip, but he failed to discuss it with the ex-wife. Or did he? Let's go. All right. Welcome, everybody. Hey, it's the holiday time. It's Christmas, and we are here for you co-parents out there. And I'm gonna tell you something. During this time frame, there are things that happen that are planned for, and sometimes they're not planned for. And one of those things being vacations. Chanel, you got something for us. I'm quite sure the people will be interested in, because somebody out there might be going through this situation right now. Can you share with us, please?
Sure. This mother wrote in about some stuff coming up this holiday season, and she says, "I'm a woman unused to divorce, and its challenges." And she's talking about 2 years into the divorce. She says, "2 years later, I'm still trying to figure out my life. We share custody of our two daughters, 11 and 13. My ex-husband is often late to pick them up and doesn't phone to alert them." Now, here's the good part. She says, "I'm left with their upset reaction, sometimes blaming me for the divorce, saying that he's late because he doesn't like to see me. It's very hurtful. He even made plans to be away with his girlfriend and her two sons and our daughters without telling me, even though it's during Christmas. He didn't ask me first whether I had plans for that time. Now the girls are excited and I have no choice but to be home alone. I'm very upset. How do I handle being divorced without letting my ex alienate me from my children?" Kev, I'm counseling with new divorcees. Sometimes they've been co-parenting for a while, but sometimes with people going through divorce, I counsel with them as well. And one of the biggest things that I stress to them is you have to prepare yourself for a new normal. You have to prepare yourself that you may not see your kids at Christmas, December 25th, every single year anymore. You have to prepare yourself that you're not going to have summer holidays or summer breaks, 4th of July, every year with them anymore. That's the hard facts of co-parenting. That's the hard facts of divorce. It's hard. Now, with this situation, Kev, I'm going to let you take it from here, because I may have a controversial response to this. Although I understand, my heart goes out to her, but I may have a controversial response to it. But I want to hear what you feel like, what you think from your perspective about this father taking his daughters away for Christmas.
Change my glasses, yeah? So, all right. So, bear with me. There's this thing that I always talk about, and it's called communication. And sometimes we need to learn how to either communicate with each other via mail, email, text message, voicemail, one way, shape, or form. If somebody was to tell you, I would like to take the children to so-and-so for Christmas, you have the right to say yes or no. Also, it's according to what's in your court order. I'm not trying to break those things, but you two as parents have to work on those things. That's something that you two need to work out, because there should be no surprises when it comes to holidays. You like Chanel said, you have to get used to this new normal, because one way, somebody's gonna get birthdays, somebody's not gonna get birthdays. Somebody's gonna get some holidays, somebody's not gonna get some holidays. Now, there are holidays where we would hope that you two can work together, because for the Father's Day and the Mother's Day, we hope that the two of you all can work those things out to where the children are with the mother on Mother's Day and then with the fathers on Father's Day, so they can get to share those times with each other. But during these holidays like the Christmases and the Thanksgiving and the birthdays, we're going to have to juggle. We're going to have to, one's going to get it one year, one's going to get it the next year. Unless you got somebody who is not in their children's lives and they are not trying to have visitation, that's a whole different situation, and we understand that. I'm talking about the people who are actively involved in their children's lives. I'm not talking about the manipulators either, because the manipulators will know they will try to take a situation and ruin it for the next person. They will try to ruin it for the other parent, knowing that they shouldn't be doing something. They'll try to push the limits, just push it every now and then. So, Chanel, that's my take on it. Communicate.
Yeah.
There should be no surprises. If you are left alone at a holiday, which you should have had the children, then you need to be seeking some legal action. But then again, at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
how much is that going to really get to? I mean, we send somebody to court for Christmas. When is it going to get seen in court? Next year sometime? So, but we have to figure out ways to work around these things as parents. Go ahead with the
Absolutely,
contradiction.
Kev. Well, here's the deal. Depending on the level of communication that you have between the co-parents. So here's this, just using this scenario. That Thanksgiving is coming up, Christmas is coming up. Depending on what your court order says, generally is right there in the parenting plan. Now, with these children, there's a 13-year-old and there's an 11-year-old. Perhaps they may not have done a strict co-parenting plan or parenting plan outlining the holidays because they wanted to leave it up to the kids. Perhaps. Okay. But let's just say okay, they just left it up to the kids. Now, you as a mom and a dad, as an adult, we know that the holidays are coming up. Stop relying on that other parent to be the parent. Okay. You be a parent and say, okay, what's the plans for Thanksgiving? What's the plans for Christmas? You be the one that's proactive. You be the one that steps up, because if you just leave it up to, well, he's going to tell me. He might not.
Nope.
He got a whole girlfriend. Why does he feel like he got to add you to his to-do list of letting you know what he got going on? He's not going to, I promise you, he's not going to do it. So what you can do is say, what's the plan? So that way you can arrange your schedule to where you know what's going on. If he's taking the girls out of town on his holiday, on his day that he has them with him, he doesn't necessarily have to let you know, unless it is in your court order that he cannot take them out of the state without you knowing. In this case, evidently, that's not part of of your parenting plan, which is, you need to make a mental note of this. When you go and get modification, you may want to include that. But he doesn't have to let you know what his plans are. He really don't. Yeah. He really just don't. And so we again go and get these resources. Kev, you have a book out. I have a ton of resources. We have coaching. We both have coaching available so that you can start to understand what are some reasonable expectations to have and how you can get ahead of this thing before you sending us a letter about how you're going to get through the holidays. Let's be proactive about this thing and say, hey, okay, what's the plan for 4th of July? You need to be sending that in April. Okay. You need to be finding out what's the plan for spring break. You need to find that out in January. So you cannot be taken by surprise with this stuff, because the other parent you ain't at the top of the list anymore. And you probably, I'm sorry to say this, but you probably wasn't at the top of the list when y'all was married. And if you wasn't at the top of the list when y'all was married, why would you expect to be at the priority that y'all not together? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to throw shade, Kev. You save me from this. Save me. I'm just bringing
quickly.
truth, though. I'm bringing truth.
All I'm going to say, I'm going to tie this thing up and put this little thick ribbon on this little skinny box here, and I'm going to tie it up. So there's a word, and we're going to use this word again. We've used it before in the past on a couple of our shows. You do not want to make an A crooked letter U out of me. Assume. Don't assume anything, parents. Don't assume. Don't assume the other parent has your best interest at heart. Don't assume the other parent's going to take you into consideration when they're making their decisions. Because like Chanel said, he got a whole girlfriend. What make you think he thinking about you at this time? He's thinking about probably doing something with the children. And the children, at the age that they are at now, 13 and 11, they can make a decision that will hurt your feelings, because they may not want to spend time with you in the house. They may want to go ski on a ski trip or go on a vacation. And so they're at that age now. So we have to be prepared for those things. Don't assume. Ask questions. Make sure you communicate communicate or over communicate with other parent. So that way we're not left out here being lonely at Christmas. Because
and come talk to us.
Yeah. Well, don't talk to me, because you can't come talk to me. You can send us a message. Don't come talk to me, because I already got plans. And so we don't want you coming to talk to me. So because you can go talk to Chanel. You can find Chanel wherever she live at, and she can go. You can send us a message in the comments, and we'll get there.
No, you come to my office. You ain't coming where I live.
Oh, okay,
You can come to my office. Don't come to where I live though. Okay. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Hey, we love y'all out there, but we don't love y'all like that. We'll just show up. That's the problem now. You just showing up.
Make an appointment.
Make plans and communicate. That's all we got to say. I'm tying this thing up, Chanel, because you told me to get it up, get tied up, and get out of here. So we done. Don't assume anything, and don't make an ASS out of you and me. Boom.